Pastor Mira, and this is Sermon in 3 minutes. This past week, we explored what does it mean to celebrate and sacrifice. The CUMC letters that you see here, these are things that members in our congregation shared are celebrations in our church. I shared one of the biggest celebrations for me at this church is our children. Our children bring life and joy and energy. We started the sermon this week with our children singing, "Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he." It's a favorite children's song, but it's also scripture that comes from Luke chapter 19. You see, Zacchaeus was an outcast. He was a tax collector. He was actually in charge of all the local tax collectors. And they were known for collecting the Roman tax, but then also padding their own pockets along the way. This made them not popular with their neighbors and with the community, so they were really outcasts. Jesus is on his way to Jerusalem, which for what will be Palm Sunday, and he goes into the village of Jericho. In Jericho, which is also where Zacchaeus is, Jesus is coming into town. People are lining the streets. And Zacchaeus, being a wee little man, has to climb that sycamore tree so that he can see Jesus. As he does that, Jesus is walking in, and Jesus sees him in the tree and says, "Zacchaeus, come down from that tree. I want to go to your house today." Well, a few things about that scripture that we noted is, first, the name Zacchaeus is actually a title. It means pure and righteous one. So Jesus was saying, pure and righteous one, come down, for I want to talk and visit with you. Although Zacchaeus didn't have many people in the community that would ever want to invite him or call him pure and righteous, Jesus saw him and knew him, and also knew his possibility that he could be pure and righteous in Jesus' eyes. So Zacchaeus comes down out of the tree and he says, "Lord, I am sorry for everything I've taken from those who I might have taken too much from, and I'll give back. I'll give back 4 times the amount." He was willing to make a sacrifice because of who Jesus was and how Jesus saw him and believed in him. We then talked about what does it mean to sacrifice in our own lives. There's a woman in our congregation a couple weeks ago. She came to me and said, "Pastor, I really need a commitment card." Well, most of our church wasn't begging for commitment cards, and so I was wondering what's going on. She said, "I have been praying so much about our capital campaign and about what I can give to my church. I'm on a limited income, I get Social Security, and there's not much left over." She said, "But if I give just $10 a week, over 3 years, I've realized that can be over $1,500 that can help make this new church happen. And I really want to be a part of that." She's willing to make a sacrifice, a really large sacrifice in her life to make that happen. You see, there's so many things and people in the Bible who have prayed the prayer, "Lord, what do you want to do through me?" And then they've listened. And when God's responded, they've been willing to follow. Our goal as a church this week and in our own lives is to continue to pray that prayer, "Lord, what do you want to do through me?" And may that answer and may that prayer guide our actions and also guide our giving in our families and in our community and in our church. Have a great week, and check out the story of Zacchaeus. It's a great one.